Hi, my name is Sarah Smith and I'm a horticulturalist here at Rogers Gardens, and thank you so much for joining me today. Today, as you can see from all the things I have set up, we are going to talk about sprouting seeds at home for eating them. This is a really fantastic wintertime thing for us to do. As we all know, the interest in growing your own food and eating things and being more sustainable with what we purchase and what we bring in our home has gotten very, very popular. So the great thing about doing sprouts at home is you don't really need much. You don't need any soil. You don't need a lot of products or anything. And you even technically don't need very much light to do this. It takes about 5 days to sprout your seeds. So all you really need is something to sprout your seeds in. So you can do a simple mason jar. You can find different tops like this that are open on the top. You can use cheesecloth and a rubber band. It's very, very simple. Or you can use a sprouting kit. We sell these sprouting kits here. You can buy just the sprouting kit, or you can buy the whole entire kit that has the pieces in it. It has all the different sprouts in it too, so it's kind of a nice just grab and go kind of thing. What's really awesome about these kits is you have different compartments in here, so you can use the divider or not use the divider, so you can do multiple different types of sprouts at one time, or you can even do them in succession. So you can start one corner, then work on another corner, so you always have something growing and you always have something to harvest. So that's a really kind of awesome feature of this product. What's great is you can sprout all different kinds of things. You can sprout seeds, you can sprout beans, legumes, grains, all of that. When you're sprouting seeds, the great thing is that it really increases the nutrients of the seed or the legume or whatever it is that you're sprouting. Also creates an enzyme prohibitor in there, so they're really easy to digest as well. And it really ups the proteins in the seed. So they're very, very nutrient packed, which is awesome. So I'm going to start it here in this jar so you can see the process. I love mixing. We have so many different varieties. You can buy mixes like this sandwich mix. You can buy just one thing, the broccoli. This sandwich mix doesn't have any broccoli in it, so I like kind of creating my own blends and mixing these two together. So, and I don't like to do too much at one time. I have a small family. There's only 3 of us. So I want to make sure that I'm not sprouting more than I'm actually going to use. So I only put in about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons in each. So this one's my broccoli here. I'm just going to pour a little bit of that in there so you can kind of see that in the bottom. And then I'm going to put in my sandwich mix. So I'm going to put a little bit more of this one in. And it's really amazing because in about 5 days, I'm going to have something I can actually use. So I'm just going to go ahead and dump the rest in there. So I'm going to put the 2 in here. And then the only thing you have to really remember is rinse and repeat. That's the main thing that you got to remember. So when you first start it, you're going to put a little bit of water in here. Not much, just maybe a couple of inches or so above your seeds. And then you're going to put your lid on. If you're doing it here in your tray, you're going to dump it into your tray. You're going to water it really well. And then you're going to let them sit. And so I'm just going to let this sit in the water like this overnight. And I'm just going to let that sit overnight. And then tomorrow I'm going to come in and I'm going to dump all of the water out. And then I'm going to rinse again. And when I do this, I like to use filtered water because your sprouts are taking up all that water. They're in that. I just don't like to have tap water on there. It just is nice because I know I'm consuming this. So I want to make sure it's really good quality. So I'm going to rinse it and repeat it. And then I'm going to do that twice a day until I start seeing some really beautiful little tails and little roots coming from this. So I'm just going to rinse and repeat that twice a day. 5 days I'm going to have sprouts, which is pretty amazing. So the way you want to store this on your counter after you've rinsed and repeated a couple of times is you want to store it somewhere where you can angle it like this. You want all the water to be able to drain out. So you can use a bowl, you can prop it up however you like, but you want to have it in a space where the water is not sitting there. The nice thing when you're using these trays, it has the grid and this bottom will catch the water. So you never want your sprouts sitting in water. That's just going to stop it from having any kind of bacterial growth or any kind of mildew or mold problems. Nobody wants moldy sprouts. So that's a really important process if you're doing it in a jar. If you're doing it in the tray, you don't have to worry about it. If you're doing it in the tray, again, you're just doing that rinse and repeat over and over twice a day for about 5 days, and then you have sprouts ready to go. Once your sprouts are totally done and ready to use, you just want to store them someplace in a refrigerator or someplace cool. You can keep it in the jar, you can keep it in the tray, that's fine. You can put it in a bowl, whatever you like. And then once it's in the refrigerator, you want to use it within about 3 or 4 days. Again, you don't want your sprouts to get moldy or mushy, because nobody likes moldy, mushy sprouts. And then that's really it. The process is super, super simple. It's a really inexpensive, fun thing to do with your family. It's a really nice way to save money. It's a really nice way to sprout some unusual things that you're probably not going to find in the grocery store. And then it's so nutrient dense and so easy to digest, because when you're sprouting seeds like this, it creates an enzyme prohibitor, so it's really easy to digest food to have in your home. And it's a great, great thing to do in the wintertime when we're just kind of waiting for spring or we're waiting for all that stuff to come. You can always have sprouts in your home. The other tip that I want to pass on is that you don't need sun to get them to sprout, but if you do want to get that really nice rich green color, you can put it in an area where it's just getting a little bit of light for only about 2 or 3 hours, and you'll notice that it really greens them up and makes them really beautiful to use. But it's not necessary. You can do it in an area that has very, very low light as well. That's pretty much it. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page. We have tons of really great videos there that you can check out. Check out our Instagram and Facebook page. Make sure you share this with all of your friends, and be well, be safe, and happy gardening.